Hello, everybody, and welcome back to the show. This episode is brought to you by The Wellness Paradigm, a holistic health coaching company shifting the way that women understand and heal their bodies. Through bioenergetic testing, functional lab testing, and functional nutrition, we uncover what traditional approaches often overlook, so you can stop guessing, start healing, and finally feel like yourself again. No more one size fits all protocols, just real answers, deep rooted healing, and the clarity and confidence you deserve to feel incredible. It's time to shift the paradigm of women's health. Now, on to our show. And good afternoon, Sarah.
Hello, Shannon.
I'm excited you're here, and I think this is going to be a really interesting
Mhm.
conversation for so many people
Mhm.
because Sarah is a medical intuitive, an intuitive mentor, and a quantum energy expert. And I'm so excited for her to also share what all of this means for somebody listening that maybe doesn't understand how the depths of, how Sarah can work with people. But she helps high achieving women who feel stuck emotionally, physically, and spiritually identify and clear energetic and emotional blocks. So, Sarah, give us a little bit more of an idea of who you are, but also how you went down this path of, doing what you're doing now.
Thank you, Shannon. Well, gosh, where do I start with all of this? I was born intuitive. I just saw things, knew things that other people didn't. And I remember as a young girl, I could read people's minds as they would walk by me. And I actually thought everyone could do that until I kind of grew up and think, oh, well, I guess it's not an every person thing. But I, at an early age, learned how to understand my body, hear the subtle messages of my body, and know that if I listened to it, it was a lot better versus if I didn't listen to it, I paid the price. So there was a deeper guidance, I think, that was always pushing me, guiding me, supporting me that I was very, very attuned to at a young age. And I was deeply interested in health and wellness. So it's very similar to you. And I actually co partnered with my mom for 18 years, and we created a lot of success, helping people all over the world just with health and wellness. And that was a passion of mine. And then we were just talking about this earlier, but I had my second child, and he was a firecracker. He didn't let me sleep for the first 4 years of his life.
Hmm.
And that was a big one for me because I actually entered into like severe sleep deprivation after that. I mean, 4.5 years of really not sleeping. Um, and I just decided to step down from that company and step down from a lot of things in life, realize what's important. I just wanted to be a mom, no longer do business or anything. But I think the universe had a different plan for me. I think it was one of the things that had to put brakes on because I was ready to shift completely and in my direction. And when I kind of recovered, slept better, kind of came out of that, there's a few things. My marriage, ended. COVID, it was all in that area. And I knew it was a big redirection for me because all of a sudden I just had an awareness to people's bodies. And I had always read people's bodies, working with people in the health industry, but it was heightened at such an extreme level that I could see people's energy fields just and everything that was going on. I could read generational patterns. I could read things that were stuck. If somebody said they had a health concern, I could literally trace it back and I knew exactly the origin of where it came from.
Wow.
So I went in and deeply studied that because I think also too is you can have the gifts, but you need to follow it up with good education and skills to match that. So I did that, and here we are today. And I love what I do. I love interacting with people and helping them kind of find the root cause. And I know you are really big on root cause. I am as well. And no, it's not the band-aid effect. It'll never get you where you need to go. We need to dig deep and get to the root cause of, why your energy just bails every day, or why the emotional patterns just keep cycling throughout your life, or, whatever it is. Help you get through that so you can actually live your best life, because we're not here to suffer. That's not the reason we're here. We're here to literally live our best life and thrive. So that's it. Yeah. In a nutshell.
No, that's amazing. I mean, I love what you said too about having gifts, but understanding how to hone them in and, and keep making them better to help
Mhm.
clients. I've talked with so many gifted people on this podcast, and, that's the one thing that really sets them apart is also, you know, um, further amplifying it, right?
Mhm.
And so when you talk about clients and loving what you're doing and seeing the results that clients are having, I'd love to go a little bit more on who are the clients that you typically help and what are the biggest shifts or the biggest things that you see they're stuck on when they come to you.
Yeah. So I've worked with a combination of men and women, but typically I attract women. Just I think I get them and they're more attracted to me. It's more of just working with the feminine energy.
Mm.
Um, I work more with high achieving women, women who have reached high levels in their career, and whether they're stuck at a certain level and want to kind of surpass that, whether it's an income or a status or, whatever that is. I've worked with doctors and lawyers. I've worked with celebrities. I've worked with people who have a lot going for them and they're ready for that next level. And whatever is just keeping them stuck. And I know we've all gone through that. We have like this plateau, whether it's plateau with our health, like these health challenges just keep showing up no matter what I do, no matter who I see, no matter what I take. I can't get through it. There's just a wall. It's the same thing with finances. It's the same thing with stress patterns in your life, emotional patterns, family dynamics, relationships. I think with everybody, you're always going to have stress more like in at least one category in your life, if not more. Because I think if we never had challenges, I think our ego would be untapped. And we would not receive the the evolution of our soul, the gifts that we're here to discover, or the growth that we're meant for. It just caps it. So these challenges are not a bad thing, and that's one thing that I I really describe to my clients who come work with me is these are actually gifts for you to take you to that next level. Nothing, like we're not supposed to stay in that suffering place, but this plane, there's actually intelligence in the suffering and in the pain. And it's digging through to see what is that and where is this going to take you? And just that awareness alone is just, it opens up possibilities that you could never imagine. So,
Yeah, a lot of people will phrase it as the messy middle, right?
yeah.
Things. I try to reframe it as the magical middle.
Yeah.
But what sort of advice would you have for somebody besides, I feel like maybe be more intuitive in this, we're in this cycle, this phase, if you're into astrology, planet, whatever, but not really my thing, but I understand it a little bit, where a lot of people are in this transition. I'm sure you've seen that, right? They're in these, kind of magical middles. It's hard. They're trying to figure out, new identities. And it's very difficult to be in that position,
Mhm.
where you are trying to let go of an old identity, an old person,
Mhm.
an old belief, but not quite where you want to be yet. And you're feeling a
Mhm.
little lost. So, for somebody that's in that position, what would be some things that you would kind of advise, help to kind of help them move through that transitionary time?
Yeah. Understanding self identity is a whole level that I really wish, schools taught that, because it's something that you're going to learn who you are at different levels throughout your life over and over and over. You're not just you at one stage. We're constantly evolving and coming into a richer, more expansive person, because our soul has many levels that we move throughout our life. So, understanding that self identity and who you are right now before we're kind of getting to that place where we're wanting to go. It's never that destination. It's tapping into who you are right now, and that is emotional. We have to connect to the emotions that we're feeling. So many people are so focused on the destination, where they're going, what they want, their desires. But We can never do that if our nervous system is shot or constantly in survival mode or constantly hijacked by this stress moment or even just traffic. You know, if we can't master our emotions in something like just traffic or the relationships in our home, then we're going to stay here. We're going to stay in this place of I can't get to where I want to go because you're basically signaling to the universe, I'm still the old me. So we have to radically shift things, especially the things that are holding us back from that growth and development of where we want to go. We can get there in a year, we can get there in a week, we can get there in an hour. It really, really depends how we are shifting internally. And, I work with, the physical, the emotional, the mental, and the spiritual. It's all of it. I don't think it's never a one size. It's never just take the supplement and you're good. And it's never just do a meditation and you're good. It's all facets of the body and the spirit. And so we have to look at all of it together. But I would say the number one thing is if you can master your emotions, such as not react when your husband asks something of you or someone cuts in front of you on the street and you react. I mean, that alone shows you haven't yet mastered your emotions. And so you will continue to be stuck. And so that's something to work on, I would say, in this transitional state.
Mm, that's a hard one, especially for
It
women.
is. It is. Mhm.
Probably also because we don't realize that those patterns aren't normal. Most people have brought in these patterns because they saw their parents do it and their parents saw their
100%.
parents do it. We can dive a little bit more into this too. I was joking a little bit on bioresonance work. We're very much in line. It's not just one thing, right? So many clients come in with a gut issue to me, and I'm like, it's not the freaking parasite that's the issue. Yes, it might be causing some issues in the physical for sure. There's all
Mhm.
this emotional work, and I can see generational work coming up on our emotional scans. But tell me a little bit on, so often this is coming not from you, right? It's coming from
Mhm.
generational, issues. How do you work on those things and break those cycles while also bringing awareness without, judgment to the person trying to work through them?
Yeah, I mean, this is a deep topic. And I think a lot of people who come to see me, they're surprised when I say, this has gone on for 32 generations because I can see back. Oh, yeah. I mean, yeah, it can go that far because there has been literally a cycle that is within our DNA. It is stored within our DNA. And it just, like certain hereditary patterns just show up. Like why was somebody had freckles and then for 32 generations it's just been like it's not just physical traits that are transferred. It can be emotional, it could be um, all of it. But it's first having awareness that I'm more than just me. There's much more to the plate than what you're just dealing with, more than just your body, more than just your mind. Um, and then digging deeper. And I think working with somebody who can help facilitate that in understanding, like to lead you there, because if you're still looped in the same cycle and it's not working, seek help. And that's there's so much help around us nowadays that someone who can guide you to say, yeah, it actually, it was a client a few days ago. It was 32 generations deep. And the most beautiful thing is she is going to be the cycle breaker because she is seeking out why is this happening? This has to be deeper than just me because I see it in my mom. I saw it in my grandmother. There's something here, but I don't want to do this anymore because it's pure suffering. And I don't think I need to do that in this life. Yes, absolutely.
Mm.
Absolutely.
Gosh, the term suffering is such a powerful one,
Yeah.
because I think people don't know they're suffering until it gets so bad.
Oh, yeah.
Right?
Totally.
We see this a lot. No, emotionally, I see it a lot physically, where they're like telling me their
Yeah.
symptoms and they're like, "Oh, it's fine." I'm like if you don't
Yeah.
do this now, like it's gonna turn
Yeah.
really bad.
Yeah.
It's it's amazing that people. I always get chills when I hear cycle breakers because I try to
Yeah.
tell clients this too. It's like, you are breaking so many cycles, not only
Yes.
emotionally, for a lot of my clients physically too, because your
Yeah.
whole microbiome things get passed on to your children too. But, um, what sort of are you using any techniques with them? Are you purely
Mhm.
doing energy work with them?
Mhm.
Do you have your own modality? I know everybody's so different when it comes to
Yeah.
this line of work.
Yeah. Well, again, like I work with all four. So we look at the physical first and I can read their body. I can tell, I scan their body energetically. So, and I can see different organs, systems, e- e- everything. And then we address those needs first. And then we look at emotions. Then we look at the mental capacity. And sometimes mental capacity is on repeat. The voice in your head is telling you you're not good enough. You'll never, succumb to anything in this world. Nobody will ever love you. We actually don't know how many negative thoughts we have in a day because it's just on loop. And it's about 60,000 a day that we're programming over and over and over. Some of it is yours and some of it is programmed from, like you said, a young age. Maybe it was a teacher when you were young that just impressed you are not enough. You didn't have the grades, you weren't fast enough on the field, like whatever it was. It's stuck, it sticks in our body. It's within our tissues, our bones, our organs, our DNA, our fascia. It's more than the mind. That book where is it's
Body keeps the
the,
score.
the body keeps the score. Exactly. And it's not in your mind. Like you can forget trauma. In fact, our brain conditions ourselves to forget and not remember trauma, especially at a younger age.
Hmm.
But the body remembers.
Hmm.
So I look at all four aspects, I deeply, deeply have studied ancient spiritual wisdom, and so I bring in a lot of that too because this is the from the sages, thousands and thousands of years ago that have stood the test of time, beyond religion, beyond of spirituality, that it's more than just what we see in front of us, and to follow some of the beautiful wisdom that we can have. And also having that spiritual, I think it's so important to have like some type of spiritual practice daily to connect to, keeps us rooted and grounded and forward facing where we need to go, because this world is tough. On a good day, this world is tough, whether it's the news or the weather or the economy or whatever. It's always going to be something. But we have to have something to ground ourselves, root ourselves. That feels good. That gives us certainty every day of moving forward. That we're not just going to lose our mind, our emotions, our energy to the next negative thing stated on the news. That we are grounded and rooted in what we believe, yeah, and what we know to be true.
I think that comes at a powerful time, even though this is going to come out weeks later. But, particularly on this day, there's been a lot of heaviness
Mhm.
on social media. And as women, we're very empathetic. And I
Yeah,
feel probably a lot of the women you work with are probably
very much.
intuitive in their own regard and empathetic, just
Mhm.
don't really understand how
Yeah.
to channel that. Um, but do you find that just so much of this inundation of negativity constantly, it just weighs
Hmm.
on you and we don't realize how much it really does impact us. And it's not
Yes.
even ours to hold, right?
Mhm.
We got enough crap we got to worry about. We don't have
Yes.
to worry about somebody on social media that's making you feel depressed. Um, what are some things that more basic things that you kind of guide women on if they're
Mhm.
maybe this little bit more of this, empathetic. Most of my clients that are very empathetic also have a lot of, health issues too, to
Yeah.
help them kind of tune out some of the noise because it's almost like
Yeah.
this trauma loop where it's like we get sucked
Yes.
into it and then we get in
Mhm.
this freeze mode of like doom scrolling and then we just can't stop even though we want to, but then
Yeah.
just, it's that same
Yeah.
pattern. So, yeah.
Yes. I think first and foremost, living in this world, we have to regulate our nervous system 24/7. This is not something that we do when we're stressed. We need to do it 24/7, is stay in a regulated place and be conscious of the fact that when my nervous system is feeling heightened or hijacked, or you feel it, and it's becoming hypersensitive, because there are a lot of people who are very sensitive, but they're actually not aware of what they're sensitive about. They're just absorbing all these things, being hit sideways, and then react very unconsciously. So it's getting conscious of what is knocking you off your center every day. Is it a relationship in your life? Because if it is, that has to be looked at. Because just having a relationship that doesn't vibe with you, maybe it's not toxic, but maybe there is more struggles there than you're even allowing yourself to see. Your nervous system, your body will tell you
Mhm.
100%. The little stressors in a day. Are we going to a job that is depleting the life out of us, and we're just in automatic mode, numb, not paying attention to what our body is telling you? But even though every time Monday turns around, you feel this sick feeling in your stomach, and you have headaches at the end of the day, your body responds to all of those. So get clear. First of all, get clear, because awareness is more than just a fancy word. It is truly understanding who you are, your body, your mind, your soul more. And then, like, I give this advice to, I think it's very simple, but to somebody who is new to this, it is very difficult. Simple, but not easy, is regulate your nervous system all day long, all day long, all day long. Like when I say all day long, you're going to like drop your shoulders, relax your jaw,
Mhm.
take a deep breath. How many of us are just like dense because we have so many things we need to do, and if we drop one ball, then the list is up here. I mean, for women, it's chronic, and we're the first in the family to get sick, and we're the first to be on the prescription drugs or addicted to caffeine. Caffeine should not be your energy. It should not be. The energy should literally be from within. And if that's not the case, seek help, because it can be, and you can turn it around. But it's get to know yourself so much deeper into like, what is it throwing you off, so you can get back on and let go of the phone. The phones are a phenomenal tool for a lot of us, but it is also one that is our worst enemy. And there's such thing like a constant scrolling. That is a freeze response. Like you just said, it is, fight, flight, freeze. We are procrastinating. We can't do what we should be doing. So we're just going to mindlessly scroll. And what it is deeper than that is you are seeking energy from the outside world, whether it's from people, from scrolling, from food. We seek energy from food. Like we're constant energy seekers. We're looking for energy because we feel so depleted at our core. It's never the outside. It's never the outside. You have more energy and light within. And it's connecting with somebody who can help you tap into that unlimited energy, that you never need to seek it from the outside world. I mean, substance abuse is another thing, is constantly seeking energy to feel important or to feel a hit, to feel people pleasing, another energy stuff. Like we need to be seen in a conversation. We need to prove our worth. That's very common in women, especially in women groups, is constantly telling your story over and over. And it's the drama stories. It's not usually your hero stories. It's your drama stories of seeking energy from other people. And at the end of the day, it just depletes you more. It's the band-aid effect. It's never giving you the worth, the sustainable force that you have. It's it's just it's a drainer. It's an absolute energy drain in itself. And then the next day we do the same thing over and over. Seek energy. Yeah.
Yes, I see that a lot too. And it's like, I think it's so frustrating because people want to change on a
They
conscious level.
do.
And
Yeah.
yet every day it's like Groundhog
Mhm.
Day where they wake up, they're motivated, they're like, today's a day, we're going to change, and then slowly fall back into patterns. Then the guilt pattern at the end of the day, well, shoot, said I was going to do this tomorrow. And it's like, 20 years goes by and so it's really cool to see, the work that you
Yeah.
do where you break that.
Hmm.
With clients, I know it's different for every person, but how quickly do you typically see clients being able to shift, you know, these different patterns, habits, I'm sure
Hmm.
health stuff takes a little bit longer to, move through, but I'd just be curious.
Yeah. It really depends on the person, but for the women I work with, it can be anywhere from
Yep.
like instant pain relief and never come back,
Yep.
um, to within days they're texting me and they're just like, I had no clue this was going to happen this fast. But when you work with all four components, especially with the energy aspect, quantum is different than just energy healing. I don't do Reiki, I don't do surface level energy work. I
Mhm.
go much deeper into the soul work. And it's always specifically designed for you. It's very customized to you.
Mhm.
But I worked with a woman who was, she came to me for many different things. And it was interesting because when I scanned her body, I said, there's something going on with your knee. I just see like a lot of energy in your knee. And she, oh, well, yeah, that's that. I've had that. I have a knee issue for 20 years. Like that's just, she didn't expect me to even like work with it because
Yeah,
it's
for
just,
sure.
I'm booked for surgery in a month and a half. And that's just what it is. But we were working with other things. And I
Mhm.
said, well, let's work with your knee. And I did a little bit of work. It was within like minutes, not even.
Mhm.
And she was like, I don't have pain. And she interrupted me. I don't have pain. I have not had pain. Now she was taking 6 Percocets a day.
Oh
Like
my
that. Yeah.
gosh.
No, that she was literally walking around high. Like it was her life that's how much pain relief she needed. And she's like, I don't have pain. And this is unbelievable. I never not have pain. And she stood up and I don't have pain. And what's going on? I have a cane and I'm walking without a cane. And she texts me a few hours later and she says, I still don't have pain. And she texts me a few days later, I still don't have pain. This was 3 years ago. She still doesn't have pain. And the surgery was canceled. And so I call those spontaneous healings because when you can address and identify the root cause energetically and see it, and working within the quantum, magical things can happen because it's not just time space reality. We're working at a much deeper level. Um, I'm always surprised because I never go in saying, well, this is what's going to happen. I can't promise anything, but your body and your soul, it really takes over. And when I think when you're ready for the shift, that's the biggest thing is when you're ready and prepared and um, I think that's a big one too.
Oh, yes. That's
Yeah.
so interesting, fascinating, truly. Because I mean, I've seen that when I work with bioenergetics,
Yeah.
something I could never get on labs. I would I'll do a remote scan, which works in the quantum, it's working with
Yep.
quantum energetics on a different level, but
Yep.
people's pain just suddenly dissipates.
Yeah.
Sometimes
Yeah.
immediately, sometimes not, it depends on what's going on, but it's like it's mind blowing,
Yeah.
to be, and it's really hard to wrap your head around because your body is, especially people living in chronic pain,
Yeah.
it's become their identity.
Yes.
Um, and then it's like it, I could see how that would shift things, particularly with clients you work with,
Yeah.
like shift things up, maybe not always positive, where yes, the pain's gone, but then it's like they're trying to reshape and reframe like what their life looks like, no longer having this kind of, overarching
Completely.
shadow. Uh,
Completely. Yeah.
Oh, that's crazy and so beautiful. I think
Yeah.
so often with physical pain, people just write it off as, and actually, I'd be curious because I get this question a lot too. I've dealt with chronic pain my whole life, having an autoimmune issue, been able to heal it, most of the time. But people are always like, well, how do you know when it's physical versus energetic?
Mm.
And that's an interesting question. I've heard a lot of people, a lot of different opinions about my energy friends. It's all energy. Then my structural,
Hmm.
all this. And I believe there's absolutely a blend. I'm always the middle ground person, but I'd be curious on your thoughts to that question.
Oh, I'm a middle ground person too.
Yeah.
Seek out all help. I'm never one to say, don't see your doctor. I'm the one who says, go see your doctor. In fact, I'm usually the one they see after they've seen everybody.
For sure. Yeah, me too.
I am the last person. And
Yeah,
they all say, I wish you were the first
for sure.
because my goodness, I finally got answers.
Mhm.
But it's all a journey because you wouldn't have gone through and learned all that you have if I was first. So it's all part of it. But when you have seen different modalities, if the chiropractor helped you, then you're probably not coming to see me. If the
Mhm.
supplements and the nutrient deficiency helped you, you're probably not coming to see me. But some do come to see me and they
Mhm.
haven't really seen much else. And that's why we do body, mind, emotions, and spirituality. Like we look at all of it. And I encourage them to do the physio and I encourage them to, get adjustments or whatever it is, treat the gut issues with somebody who can give you the right specific things.
Mhm.
But chronic, if they're in a chronic state, chronic to me is a red flag because chronic to me means that this has been going on longer than we wanted it to be. And how I see things happening in the body is it starts very small. It starts with an ache or a discomfort. And when we're not aware of that and we kind of brush it off to, oh, I just slept on the wrong side, or it's just something I've always had, or I was a gymnast when I was young and it's just been with me.
Yep.
Okay, we are accepting that as our standard. That should never be a standard. It should never be something that you are going to haul with you for the rest of your life. Let's take a deeper look. Chronic to me is like when you're not listening to your body's signals. The body will turn the volume up to get your attention. Because if it is stored trauma in the body that we are very unaware of, maybe we're aware of the trauma situation, but we don't know that that trauma settled into our body somewhere, which I'm going to say 10 times 10, it always does, because unless you have mastered your energetics, your emotions, and your physical well being, most of the people on the planet who have had trauma have not dealt with it properly and it's still in their body. And so it's being aware of where the aches and pains are, where the discomfort, or where some health issue is not giving up, no matter what you've done. Sometimes people can kind of diet change and it makes a world of a difference. Okay, well, that's more of a physical thing. Or you can take some supplements, you're kind of getting through it. Chronic is different. Chronic tells me that you've ignored it. You've put the band aid on it. You've taken the painkillers. We've accepted this as normal. And the body keeps turning up the volume. The body does not want distorted energy in it. How I kind of describe this to my clients, it's like taking in a breath and not exhaling. That is taking on energy, whether it's somebody else's energy or absorbing emotions when we were a child, or it could be, your mom just didn't pick you up when you were little from your crib, when you cried and wanted to be picked up. Now, you're not going to remember that. Maybe you do, but most likely you're not going to remember it. But your body remembers that insufficient feeling. And there's attachment issues as an adult. So it can manifest in a million different ways, but we have to be aware of what is our body telling us. And if we really don't know, get help. Get help from somebody who can kind of guide you through that, because the chronic symptoms are not there for a reason. Don't tell me that it's a genetic issue, that your grandparents had it and now your father has it and now you have it. It's unacceptable in this realm of our science and energetics and what we know. Expect better for yourself. Don't settle. And I think for so many women, it's on the back burner because we're taking care of our family. We have our businesses or our jobs and we have everything else to do. That right there is an energetic distortion in the body, is not accepting that you require first class care, just like everybody else. You do. You matter that much. And also say too, because I see this a lot in women, is at the level that you can love yourself is the level of health and well-being that you will have. So we deny how we truly love and appreciate and accept ourselves because we're always fixing or editing or deleting or adding to, like, we're always trying to change who we are. What if we were just perfect the way that we are? Because That's what reality is. Reality is not a mistake. It's all here for a reason. And so when we can fully accept that, that too is a nervous system shift too, when people can kind of come to that. But when we can accept that, um, it's incredible what the body then hears and listens to and understands and just relaxes. Like, I'm not going to hear the comments that you're constantly giving me all day long. Is, that's a disease state.
Man, so true. So many truth bombs that you're
Yeah.
dropping over here.
Mm.
You had mentioned, having somebody there to help guide, which I think really is so important in this work. Um,
Yeah.
it's one thing to understand nervous system work. It's
Mhm.
another to help have somebody understand from a non-biased point of view and, take you through it. But if somebody was interested in the work you do, where can they learn a little bit more about what it is you do, connect with you?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I have a website, and I think that will be in the description below. And I also, you can find me on Instagram. It's medicalintuitive.sarah. I have a Facebook page, Heal with Sarah. Um, and I'm on TikTok as well. We'll put those in the show notes. But yeah, I'm relatively new to the social platforms. I've been building this kind of in the background with clients, focusing 100% just on my clients and not really kind of looking elsewhere. But I've been encouraged by a lot of people to kind of get your message out. You have a lot of things to share. And so I'm building my social platforms as well. Yeah.
Oh, the joys.
Yes.
Well, definitely, I will put her information down below, guys, so you can find her, connect with her. If you felt like this resonated, reach out to her, shoot her a DM, or write a review or send it to somebody if you feel like they can hear it, which I'm sure there are many people you're thinking of that probably need to hear this message. So, thank you, Sarah, for being here, and thank you, listeners, for being here, and we'll catch you guys on the next show.
Thanks so much, Shannon. Good to be here.